Please read. Prabhu Prasad Prabhu, please read.
Text 20 of chapter 15. इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रम् इदमुक्तं मया नघः एतद्बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमान् स्यात् कृतकृत्यश्च भारत इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रम् इदमुक्तं मया नघः एतद्बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमान् स्यात् कृतकृत्यस्य च भारत. Translation: This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures, O sinless one, and it is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection. Purport: The Lord clearly explains here that this is the substance of all revealed scriptures, and one should understand that one should understand this as it is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, one becomes intelligent and perfect in transcendental knowledge. In other words, by understanding this philosophy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engaging in his transcendental service, everyone can become freed from all contaminations of the modes of material nature. Devotional service is a process of spiritual understanding. Wherever devotional service exists, the material contamination cannot coexist. Devotional service to the Lord and the Lord Himself are one and the same because they are spiritual. Devotional service takes place within the internal energy of the Supreme Lord. The Lord is said to be the sun, and ignorance is called the darkness. Where the sun is present, there is no question of darkness. Therefore, wherever devotional service is present under the proper guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, there is no question of ignorance. Everyone must take to this consciousness of Krishna and engage in devotional service to become intelligent and purified. Unless one comes to this position of understanding Krishna and engages in devotional service, however intelligent he may be in the estimation of some common man, he is not perfectly intelligent. The word Anagha, by which Arjuna is addressed, is significant. Anagha, O sinless one, means that unless one is free from all sinful reaction, it is very difficult to understand Krishna. One has to become free from all contamination, all sinful activities, then he can understand Krishna. But devotional service is so pure and potent that once one is engaged in the devotional service, he automatically comes to the stage of sinlessness. While one is performing devotional service in the association of pure devotees in full Krishna consciousness, there are certain things which require to be vanquished altogether. The most important thing one has to surmount is weakness of the heart. The first fall down is caused by the desire to lord it over the material nature. Thus, one gives up the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Lord. The second weakness of the heart is that one increases the propensity to lord it over material nature. He becomes attached to the matter and the possession of the matter. The problems of material existence are due to these weaknesses of the heart. In this chapter, the first 5 verses describe the process of freeing oneself from these weaknesses of heart, and the rest of the chapter, from the 6th verse through the end, discusses Purushottama Yoga. Thus, end Bhaktivedanta purpose the 15th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of Purushottama Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Person. Hare Krishna.
देखिए, so this is the last verse of 15th chapter. इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रम् इदम उक्तम मया नघ एतद् बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमान् स्यात् कृतकृत्यश्च भारत. कृतकृत्यश्च भारत means you will attain perfection in your endeavors if you understand the Shastra. What is the Shastra? Guhyatamam Shastra. It is the most secret, most confidential scripture. Right? Idam Uktam Mayanaga, which Lord Krishna has been speaking here. This Bhagavad Gita. If you understand, the intelligent person who understands this scripture, all his endeavors attain perfection. So, Srila Prabhupada, he states a very important point in the last paragraph of this purport. There are two obstacles to this understanding of the Bhagavad Gita in the spiritual life. What are the two obstacles? First one is weakness of heart. Right? First one is what? weakness of heart. Weakness of heart comes due to the tendency to dominate over the material nature, to desire to lord it over the material nature. We want to become the enjoyers. That is weakness of heart. When one wants to serve the Lord, that is strength. That is not weakness. But if somebody wants to do self gratification, that is weakness of heart. That is the first fall down. So then one gives of the transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord. इंद्र तृप्ति और कृष्ण भक्ति साथ में नहीं चल सकता. Right? Prabhupada, another place he says, sense gratification and self realization go ill together. क्या है? Sense gratification and self realization go ill together. They are not, both of them cannot go simultaneously. Simultaneously, you cannot light the fire and put the water. Both the things cannot happen. Right? So, therefore, first weakness of heart is trying to enjoy the material nature independent of Krishna. That is weakness of heart. And second weakness of heart is what? One increases the propensity to lord it with the material nature. That weakness of heart, exaggerates or it increases the propensity. If the propensity increases to lord it over material nature, he becomes attached to matter and the possession of matter. वो चीजों को पोजेस करने में लग जाता है व्यक्ति. राइट? एक बार श्रील प्रभुपाद जा रहे थे, रास्ते में देखा बहुत सारे पंछियों का स्टूल, जो उनका टट्टी नीचे गिरा हुआ है. तो उन्होंने अपने डिसाइपल्स को पूछा कि व्हाट डू यू थिंक, व्हाट इज दिस, ये जो नीचे गिरा है, व्हाट डू यू इन्फर फ्रॉम दिस. तो वो बोले, प्रभुपाद, दिस इज stool of the birds, and this is green, this is white, like this they were saying. And Prabhupada said, what do you infer from this? They told, this is stool. And Prabhupada said, no. Then they asked Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, what Prabhupada you say? What can we infer from this? Srila Prabhupada said, the fact that there is so much stool of the birds here, that means the birds have been staying here for a long time. They are attached to this tree. They are attached to this tree. Right? So, we become attached to matter and possession of matter. अब देखिए, आए दिन, every day we see so many cases of, crime. Criminal cases हो रहा है हर दिन. What is the reason? Because of attachment to materialistic things, to money, to positions, right? To all these things. And people do not know that for what they're acquiring all these things. If you're acquiring these things for your sense gratification, then there will always be fight. There will always be crime. There will always be murder. All these things will happen. This is what is happening in the world every day, literally every day. Recently, many cases on the news have startled everyone. See what is going on in the society. Just for their own selfish gains, a person is killing another person. See what is happening, right? The main goal is what? Attachment to positions and then enjoying mentality, trying to enjoy. So the problems of material existence are due to weaknesses of heart. तो जितने भी सारे प्रॉब्लम्स हम संसार में देख रहे हैं, इसका कारण क्या है? हृदय की दुर्बलता, और कुछ नहीं है. हृदय की दुर्बलता. In this first chapter, the first 5 verses describe the process of freeing oneself from the weakness of heart. तो इसलिए 15 अध्याय के पहले 5 श्लोक जो हैं, हमें सिखाते हैं कि कैसे हृदय दौर्बल्यम जो हमारे अंदर है, इसको कैसे हम निकाल सकते हैं. How can we remove this हृदय दौर्बल्यम? भगवान ने भगवत गीता में बोला, त्यक्ता तुष्ट परंतप, ये हृदय दौर्बल्यम को छोड़ दीजिए और उठो. rise above all this weakness of heart. खाली बाहर से हम बहुत ब्यूटीफुल है, हैंडसम है, बहुत हट्टा कट्टा होने से नहीं होगा. अंदर से वी हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी कृष्ण कॉन्शियस. And strength of heart comes when you become detached. When you become detached from materialistic things. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि रास्ते में अगर आपको कुछ सोना या फिर पोजीशन कुछ पढ़ाई मिल गया तो आप उसको छोड़ के आ जाओगे. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है. If it has some utility in Krishna service, you should engage in Krishna service, but not for one sense gratification. अपने लिए उतना ही ग्रहण करिए जितना से हमारा काम चल जाएगा. हमारा आत्मा का, शरीर का मेंटेनेंस के लिए जितना जरूरी है उतना ही ग्रहण करना चाहिए. बाकी जो चीज है उसको भगवत सेवा में लगा दीजिए. बहुत ही सरल प्रिंसिपल बता रहे. राइट. ऑपुलेंस फॉर कृष्णा, सिंप्लिसिटी फॉर वन सेल्फ, पॉवर्टी फॉर वन सेल्फ, ऑपुलेंस फॉर कृष्णा. ऑपुलेंस जो है कृष्ण की सेवा में लगाइए. तो this should be our principle. The problems of material existence due to weaknesses of heart. व्यक्ति हमेशा सोचता है कि मेरा क्या होगा, मैं कैसे इंद्रिय तृप्ति करूंगा. नो, we should think how I can serve Krishna. If you serve Krishna, automatically your senses, your body, everything will be served. Don't worry about that separately. Don't worry about your sense gratification. Just try to serve Krishna as much as can possible. In this chapter, the first 5 verses describe the process of freeing oneself from the weaknesses of heart. पहला 5 श्लोक, पांचों श्लोक क्या है? निर्वाण मोहा जित संग दोषा अध्यात्म नित्या विनिवृत्त कामा द्वंद्व विमुक्ता सुख दुख संगे गच्छन्त मूढ़ा पदम अव्ययम तत्. गच्छन्ति अमूढ़ा पदम अव्ययम तत्. जो मूढ़ा व्यक्ति नहीं है, मूर्ख व्यक्ति नहीं है, वो भगवान के धाम जाता है. लेकिन कैसे जाएगा, जाने का प्रोसेस क्या है? निर्वाण मोहा. अपने लिए सम्मान की अपेक्षा मत करिए. हम सब लोग यही चाहते हैं कि मुझे क्यों सम्मान नहीं मिल रहा है, सब लोग मुझे रेस्पेक्ट करें, मैं इतना महान व्यक्ति हूँ. ये भावना जब तक नहीं गया तो भगवान के धाम में हम सेवा नहीं कर सकते. सेवा करने के लिए अपने आप को बहुत तुच्छ तुच्छ समझना पड़ेगा. मैं बहुत तुच्छ हूँ, मेरा कोई क्वालिफिकेशन है नहीं. ये भगवान है, गुरु जी हैं जिन्होंने मुझे भगवान की सेवा में लगाया है. मेरे अंदर कुछ अच्छे गुण भगवान देख रहे हैं. नहीं तो मेरे अंदर वैसे अच्छे गुण कुछ है ही नहीं. राइट. तो इसलिए लेकिन हम लोग क्या सोचते हैं, मैं महान हूं, मैं इतना बड़ा महान व्यक्ति हूँ, मैं कैसे जाके सफाई झाड़ू करूंगा, मैं कैसे क्लीनिंग करूंगा, मैं कैसे सेवा, ये छोटा सेवा करूंगा. हम ऐसे सोचते हैं. सेवा, कोई सेवा छोटा नहीं होता है. भगवान की सेवा, जो व्यक्ति अपने आप को तुच्छ समझ करके भगवान की सेवा में लगते है, सबसे महान व्यक्ति है वो. देवी देवता लोग इस भारतवर्ष में जन्म लेके भगवान की सेवा में लगाने के लिए प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं, और हमें वो चांस मिल रहा है, हम इसको छोड़ दे रहे हैं. राइट. इंद्रिय तृप्ति में लगे हैं. तो कहने का मतलब है निर्माण मोहा. मोह मतलब इल्यूजन. हम सोच रहे हैं हम शरीर हैं. इस शरीर का चेतना से बाहर आके भगवान की सेवा में लगना पड़ेगा. निर्माण मोहा जित संग दोषा. संग दोष से ऊपर आना पड़ेगा. रजोगुण तमोगुण सत्वगुण, इससे ऊपर उठना पड़ेगा. संग दोष, संग दोषा. आध्यात्म नित्या, हमेशा आध्यात्मिक जीवन में रहना होगा. देन विनिवृत्त कामा, अपने काम वासना को अपने नियंत्रण में लाना होगा. विनिवृत्त कामा द्वंद्व विमुक्ता, सुख दुख मान अपमान शीत उष्ण, इस सबको टॉलरेट करना होगा. राइट. द्वंद्व विमुक्ता सुख दुख संगे गच्छन्ति अमूढ़ा. ऐसे व्यक्ति भगवान के धाम जा सकते. राइट. And the rest of the chapter from the 6th verse to the end discusses पुरुषोत्तम योगा. तो वीकनेस ऑफ हार्ट को पहले त्यागने से हम भगवान के बारे में समझ सकते हैं, भगवान के भक्ति योग में लग सकते हैं, और भगवान के धाम लौट के जा सकते हैं. सो आप सब लोगों को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आप सब लोगों ने वो ध्यान पूर्वक